Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Everquest Old School. And on tonight's episode, I am joined by a very good friend. We have ZKP99,
What's going on, YouTube? ZK here.
and we're over in the zone Kurns Tower, guys, and we're playing our monks again tonight. Now, this is a really cool zone to be in. We, on the last episode, explored a little bit of the basement. We didn't quite dare go all the way down because we're not the highest level we could possibly be. I mean, you're what level right now?
17.
And I'm only a 15 monk. So, yeah, we didn't want to go too far down because if you die, you have to get your course back in this game. And not necessarily a given that you're going to be able to do that if there's nobody else in the zone to help you out. And there's really nobody else in the zone that's a high level that could help us do that. So, we're trying to be a little bit cautious, maybe too much so, maybe not enough. It depends. I mean, we really
You
don't know what's down there, so.
you never can be too cautious in this game.
Well, sometimes you can. I mean, you do want to get out and explore the zones. That is something that you have earned at a certain level. You know, like you have to earn the rights to go off and check out a zone that you've never been to before because it is dangerous, you know?
Yeah.
And so once you get up to say like level 20 or level 30, what you'll find is a lot of people
Oh man,
will
my men failed. That's not good.
Oh, no, that is not good. I don't know if you can if you can feign death and get them on me, although it's failing on you. No, you're still good. I think you're good, man. No, don't run him.
I'm not. I'm trying to let Feign Death refresh. Oh, it failed again.
Yeah, just sit there and tank him. I think we're good. If you can do some damage to him, we should be able to kill him. Because you're at 23%, he's at 17. With the two of us beating on him, he should die right here. Yeah, here we go. And we'll just let your life go up after the fight, which should go up pretty quickly. Oh, look at that! Got another reinforced rhino chest guard. And these are stuff that you normally would not pick up on a monk. In fact, monks normally never loot anything because you want to stay under that 15 weight limit. It's kind of sucky because, you know, even monks, you know, if you're a brand new character, brand new, player to the game, you're going to want to earn money. And really, one of the fundamental ways of earning money in this game is by looting stuff, by picking it up and going back to a vendor and selling. I mean, just earlier tonight, we were over in Soleil, and just by looting the stuff, we had a master looter, somebody who just looted everything that dropped. And when the night was over, he went to a vendor and sold all the stuff and then did a split for everybody. Now, for those of you who are not aware how to do a split, you just do /split space and then the four digits of the four different types of currency. So if you have 100 platinum to spend, it would be /split space 100 space 0 for gold, space 0 for silver, and then space 0 for the copper. And of course, you would change those zeros to whatever number it is that you were splitting up each one of those denominations. But he did that, and we each made, I think it was like 110 platinum apiece, plus a whole
Yeah.
bunch of gold and silver and copper. So, yeah, it was a nice haul just from the garbage that drops off of these creatures that we got from the regular loot. Nothing fantastic, no name stuff, no items that we would sell on the broker. Just regular trash stuff, like the stuff we're picking up right now, the weapons and things of that sort.
Also, after we left and we didn't record this, but Chupa was on his monk and he asked if he could trade gold for plat. And generally, monks will do that because they can't carry all that weight, so they generally trade currencies and stuff. So, and sometimes they'll ask a little bit more than less of than what the gold value is for the plat, generally just so they can get rid of the plat that they have.
Oh yeah, they definitely will usually give you a better deal on it. So if they have 500 gold and that translates over into what 50 plat, right?
Yeah.
They may only ask for 30 plat. So you're making a 20 platinum deal off of that just from transferring their money. Of course, you are getting the added weight from it. So you got to keep that in mind. But for certain classes, they don't care. Like clerics, I mean, if they're overweight, what does that matter? They sit on their butt the entire time. And if they're not sitting up, they're standing up, casting a spell, and sitting right back down.
My sneak keeps failing, and both that one's green or that one's yellow to me, the one on the right, and that one on the left it's blue to me. So I don't know how you want to do this.
Well, the one on the right's red to me, and the one on the left is blue. So I think the one on the left we could kill really quickly, and then the one on the right may take a little bit longer to kill.
Plus we got that named right there in the middle that's roaming around, and we got another yellow roaming around behind that. So I don't know. I don't know how you want to do this, man. I'm gonna try to get my sneak up and not get it to fail.
Yeah, I would say we would be able to kill the skeleton on the left really quickly if we were both on it, and then switch over and take on the guy who's going to take a little bit longer, rather than try to take him on because he's going to take a little bit longer to kill, and the whole time this other guy will be beating on us. But I'm going to leave that up to you. See how you want to do that one.
Yeah, this is sometimes in these games, guys, you have to make a choice, and sometimes it could be the wrong decision, sometimes it could be the right choice. But as a monk and you're pulling a group, sometimes in a situation like this, if you're the only monk, you have to make a decision either way. And no, there is no wrong decision when you're the only monk, and there's. But always go for the casters. If there's no casters, then always go for the lower level ones because they die quicker as well. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna throw a ranged at that blue one to the left, and hopefully that I'm gonna work. I'm gonna put on my sneak. It worked, so I'm gonna throw my range at that left one, and hopefully he won't aggro.
Well, hopefully the one on the right won't aggro is what he's saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, as a monk, you have to make those decisions all the time. How is the best way to pull a room? Yeah, and see, we got both of them right there. That's all right. We'll take them on.
Yeah.
We'll take them on.
It does suck, especially at these lower levels when you're just working on that feign death skill, the sneak skill. So it does take that into consideration as well when you're deciding on what to pull and stuff.
But you'll learn that as you get to a zone, and it kind of sucks because when you first get to a zone that you're not familiar with, you're gonna make mistakes and it's gonna cost people's lives. But eventually, you will know that area, and that's part of the excitement I find, anyways, is going to a new zone that you've never been before because it's the unknown. Once you know what's beyond, like we were just going down there in the basement, guys, and neither one of us knew what was beyond the next door. So we were kind of peeking around the corner, and we're like, should we go any further or should we not? Because we might be able to get jumped by a high level creature just beyond. That's kind of exciting to me. Versus, oh, we already know that okay, in the next room there's two creatures. It's not that big of a deal. We can go all the way down the bottom floor because we know what's down there. There's no real big excitement there. It's fun to play and it's good loot because you know where to go for it, but that excitement of the unknown is no longer there. And there's very few places in this game that I don't know incredibly well.
There's two names, man. Look at that.
That's going to be nice. It's going to be some pretty good loot, I hope. But yeah, any one of these mobs is supposed to be able to spawn that name. So I guess technically you could come in here and find like 50 of those guys up. But I've never seen more than one. So that's kind of unique.
Yeah, that is crazy, man. I've never seen more than one named either. As long as I've been playing this game and this server, man.
Yeah, and we caught it on camera, guys. So there you go. It can have more than one. I guess what you would have to do is come in here with a high-level character and just kill over and over and over again all the creatures that weren't Crusaders. Oh, here he comes for us. I say we take him on.
Yeah, I said we got him. See, I was gonna pull him, but all three of those were forward aggro, man. So I'm not gonna do that. So it's a good thing he did pass back to us.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to wait for him to walk to you, but you got to keep in mind as the puller, you need to watch that. You need to watch the route he takes so that you know that he does come back out. Because if you didn't know that and you just like, oh well, maybe he never comes back out. I guess I'll just go ahead and see if I can try pulling him, and you get all 4 or 5 or 6 of those mobs. That could spell, pretty much doom, not only for yourself, but for everybody else.
I'll also keep in mind, say that I'm coming up these stairs, there could be one over there here in this corner, and there could be one over here in this corner as well. You never really know. So you can't just go up there and say, hey, I'm going to pull this name without expecting the unexpected, because you never know. Something may pop out and come and aggro you. Like when we were in the basement, everything just started aggroing us because we weren't really watching what we were doing. Everything was coming left and right at us. So,
but you can change your camera angle with the F9 button, guys. I think you get up to 5 different views with that.
6 different views.
6 different views, yeah. And you can sometimes look around the corner. You can peek around it with the different camera angles, and you can figure out what's in there. It's especially good for rooms when you change your camera angle, and that way you can open up a door, move your camera angle around, and you actually look like you're looking from inside the room. It may seem like a cheat to some of you guys, and you're like, hey, you shouldn't be able to do that, but it is part of the game. They do know that you're going to have that skill, that it's incorporated into the programming of the game, and because of that, they make pulls that much more difficult that you wouldn't be able to do without that. So, you definitely use it. It's not a cheat. It's not something that's going to make the game easier for you. In fact, without it, it's undoable whatsoever. With it, it's bearable sometimes. Even then, it's sometimes very, very difficult.
Because yeah, like you were saying, it can be difficult sometimes. Because like, say I'm facing this way, and I turn that camera around, and I try to use my camera to get all the way around, but sometimes it's just not enough, and you can't really see in that room at all, So
Yeah, definitely, guys. And one of the main things about a puller that you have to kind of put up with is when you open up a door for the very first time and you don't know what's on the other side of that, simply opening that door can actually spell doom for you, because the action of opening that door may have all the creatures inside that room aggro you. And for those of you who don't believe that can actually happen, or you're like, oh, it can't be that difficult, can it? All you need to go do is watch the episodes with my cleric and Thum and ZK and all the other guys over in Kazakh Thul. There is one room that Hydros opens up. He does it on a regular basis, and if you open up that door and you're standing just a centimeter, I'm not even talking about an inch, but just a toe's length too far up, you're going to have the creatures all in that room come running out and attacking you. So yeah, it can be just that much. Going up just one more line of a pixel is going to spell just all sorts of trouble for you. And it's true. It actually does, kind of work that way for you. Wow. These guys are dropping all sorts of fine steel tonight.
that's gonna be a lot of plat for us both.
Yeah.
Also, I hit 35 at the end there.
Wow. Nice, man. Are you doing that double?
Yeah, with double attack, man. So it's awesome.
Jeez, man. That is why these guys are dying left and right. So if you come in here and you're fighting them and you're like, hey, those two guys were able to fight these things pretty easy. Remember, ZK is very tweaked out, and my guy has pretty decent weapons. Maybe not the greatest armor in the world, but he has pretty decent weapons. I'm using a bow stick, and then, of course, the Yakisha War Club or whatever, which is a really, really nice weapon at higher levels. It's okay at this level because the proc doesn't go off until, I believe, level 50, and so that's why at higher levels it becomes even a better weapon than it is now. But even now, it's still going to kick some serious butt, and it has been.
That ratio on that club is just insane. 924, man, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty nuts. And you got to remember, though, guys, this was a gift. I logged on with my monk. I created my monk, and we're running around. We're hunting over there at Newbie Ramp, and some high-level person just kind of ran by and be like, hey, what kind of weapons are you using? And I was like, oh, I'm just the regular fist that I have when I first started, and I think some kind of cloth wraps or something. And he was like, oh, no, that's no good. He's like, here you go. And he just gave these weapons to me as just a gift.
What is that? What is that skull for? I've never seen that.
They're on a whole bunch of them.
Let me see. Let me look it up.
Yeah, they're...
And what I'm referring to is when I look it up, I'm going to the wiki.project99.com, and it is everything for the game. That it has everything that you need, more than 99.9% of the time. And sometimes the wiki will be wrong, and you can make a post on the forums to change it, and they will change it. But it's generally pretty accurate, and it has everything that you need, from resist gear to everything that abilities, spells. I mean, just whatever you need,
Which is great, because when the game first came out, of course, it didn't have any of that stuff. Nobody knew the information. A lot of the time, you'd hear people, talking in OOC in a certain zone, asking people like, hey, does anybody know what the spawn timer is for this creature? And everybody's like, no, I thought it was 15 minutes. Somebody else is like, no, I thought it was 3 hours. How do you get this creature to spawn? And you'd have a lot of different theories on how to do it, because there was nothing that, there was no walkthrough. There was nothing you can go on there and be like, oh, I killed this creature, and therefore, the name spawned 10 seconds later. No, it was trial and error. You came into the zone, you killed certain things, and there's actually certain zones where if you kill other creatures, like with the Pegasus cloak, you want that guy to spawn, you have to go kill, I think it's bull elephants and something else in a certain spot. That's the placeholder.
Lionesses.
And somebody had to sit there and figure that out. Somebody had to kill everything in the zone and then take a look at, well, what made him spawn faster? Was it the spiders? Was it the centaurs? Was it the Avocs? Was it the bull elephants? Was it a combination of two or three or four of those different types? Was it one specific location of mobs that spawned him more often? And if that sounds mind blowing that somebody was actually able to figure it out, it was, guys. It was actually those type of people, those people who write everything down and spreadsheet it all to try to figure out what was doing what, because there was a lot of money to be had back then on getting those objects to spawn more often, and then going to like the broker and selling them all. And when I say the broker, I mean like East Common Tunnels, and selling
Yeah.
your objects for a little bit more platinum, because you had something that was amazing and nobody else knew how to spawn it, but you did. Like, you had that secret. And so there was guilds out there that would hoard that knowledge. Nowadays, you don't have to worry about that. You can just go online and see, okay, I need to kill this guy. He has a 12-hour spawn time. When he spawns, he sometimes does charm and he does resist disease. So make sure I have this and that. And he occasionally will drop this item 50% of the time, and this is his loot table. Like, it gives you everything you could possibly want. That's an amazing tool to have. Definitely take advantage of it, because we did not have that back in the day.
Yeah, see, and you can see down at the bottom in group chat, I'll link the link to the wiki, Project 99 wiki. Take advantage of that, guys. Like AC was saying, it has all sorts of different information on there. It also has each faction. You type in a name of a faction and it tells you how to raise it, or if it can't be raised, or anything like that, and what you can do to kill that faction, or just whatever the case may be. It's actually pretty handy and I'm glad they made the wiki.
Oh
The
yeah,
project.
they were even making that kind of stuff when the game first came out. You had websites like Alakazam, and what was some of the other ones? Oh man, there was like three or four really good ones that were out for a short amount of time, and then a couple of ones that kind of lasted the duration of the game itself. And then one of them was actually bought by Sony itself, so it could become the main website, the Sony website that kind of give you all the information that you wanted on there as like the official walkthrough, of the game. But that was just fans. It was just fans creating a website with the information on it and allowing other fans to post information and having people like kind of vote on it. It was like basically the beginning of like how wiki works out now, where you can go on there and be like, no, that information's wrong. Here, let me post the correct answer. And everybody else is like, okay, yeah, that one's right. That one's wrong. And eventually it does it automatically for you. But back then people were doing it by hand. So it was interesting.
Yeah, for sure, and it also tells you certain names of merchants and what they sell and stuff like that. I mean, just there's all kinds of different things on the
Oh yeah,
Project 99 wiki.
there's everything on there. Anything that somebody's asked, somebody has posted on there about asking you like, hey, where can I buy bandages if I'm an evil, lizard and I'm over in Freeport? Because that is the thing, guys. There might be nowhere for you to buy bandages because lizards are not liked by pretty much any class other than themselves. And so if
Right.
you need to buy bandages, or you need to buy food, or you need to buy your little throwing stars or whatever, and you're like, where do I go? Other than get somebody to buy them for me, is there a vendor that I can go to? There might not be, but there is a vendor over in Oasis that pretty much sells to anybody. I don't know, does he sell to lizards?
Who? The swashbuckler?
Yeah, the guy over at the gypsy camp?
Yeah, he sells to anybody.
Okay, so there's a few NPCs like that throughout the game, and yeah, you may not be anywhere near Oasis, but it may be the closest place you can go to actually buy something, short of going to your home village, which is not always an option.
For sure.
There you go. There's a nice little yawn right there, guys.
Sorry, guys.
It's all right. Yeah, we've been playing for quite some time tonight, guys. You got to remember that we did some videos earlier tonight over in Seoul A with the gang. Unfortunately, Hydros hasn't been able to be out lately, and hopefully we'll be able to fix that pretty soon. He's actually feeling under the weather right now, which is not surprising because normally he has to drive out someplace to get internet because he lives out in the middle of nowhere. And to do that, he has to kind of brave the cold and the wind and the rain and all sorts of other, weather conditions. And so it's not really surprising that he's, caught a cold because of it, or maybe not even because of that, but, it just kind of goes around this type of the year. So, we haven't been able to play with him in a little while. If you're kind of wondering why he hasn't been in the videos, definitely will be here in the future. I mean, he's still doing videos with us, just not lately. Oh, wow.
We're definitely praying for you, Hydros. So get feeling better soon, man.
Oh, I don't think it's anything that serious, but yeah, it's just holy crap,
You,
got two
you,
guys.
you never know, man. I mean, just our thoughts are with you, man.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. Although you won't see this, for those of you who don't know, I know I have a lot of people who watch my videos, and you'll log on. Maybe not a lot of people, but I have people who watch my videos, and they send me messages in game, and they're like, "Oh, I love the video that you just did last night over in, whatever zone," and I'm like, I love the fact that you guys love the videos. I absolutely do. It's one of the biggest compliments I think I've ever gotten in my entire life, that you guys like watching these things and you like, kind of playing along with me, because I love sharing this stuff with you. But keep in mind that when it comes to EverQuest, there was a period there of, I would say, 2 or 3 weeks where we were playing nearly every day, and we were shooting, 3, 4 episodes a day there. So you will have about a month to 2 months worth of backlog on that. So when you watch the videos, just keep in mind that the videos are probably about 2 months ahead of where you're actually at the moment. So
Yeah.
it kind of sucks in that regard. I wish I could keep them more up to date, but to be honest, I'm kind of glad that I don't, because I like playing the game, and I don't want to try to be, I don't want to stop playing the game, or I don't want to get too far ahead and not show you what we're doing, because I don't want to record the video. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to, because if I don't show you guys, you will miss out on all the experiences we have. And sometimes the crazy and zany episodes that you guys have seen, most of the time, actually, they're completely unplanned. We just kind of log on and go wherever we feel like that night, and we play in that zone until, one or two, or everybody has to leave for the night for whatever reason. Sometimes at the end of the night, when people are, getting tired and they're like, oh, maybe we'll call it here quits, something crazy happens, and we happen to catch it on camera. Everybody has a good time. Everybody's laughing and joking, and, it just becomes a really, really good episode.
Yeah, like take that for example. When we were all leaving the night of Oasis, and we happened to see Sirkin in the tunnel, man. That was a great moment, and we'll never forget it. We caught that on video, so that's really awesome.
Oh yeah, definitely, and that's what I'm talking about. Is like, if I was saying, I can't record anymore tonight because I don't want to get too far ahead, that wouldn't have been on camera. I would have to have wait, until the next day to be able to record. So I like being able to record when it's, possible, when there's people on. And then there's been weeks out there where we don't log on very much at all, and you just no videos really get recorded because people are sick, or things just don't go very well that night, or whatever the case may be. And so it kind of evens out eventually. And we've
Yeah.
we've kind of been catching up to the videos. So it used to be like 3 months. Now it's about 2 months. I don't think it will ever get really any closer than about a month. I try to keep that at least, because real life stuff happens with me as well, and there's been entire weeks where I haven't been able to log on because of stuff going on with the family, and just stuff going on over here. So I like to keep that thing going, because I do this daily, and I want to keep that as a tradition. I want this be going for years down the road as a daily series.
Same here, man. I'm definitely gonna be hanging out. I'm gonna be definitely doing the videos with you guys, for as long as I can, and I hope we don't ever have to stop, man. I mean, I love what we do, man. It's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I do a lot of other games out there as well, so that kind of plays a factor in it as because
I didn't even know this place had a basement.
this isn't a basement. This just goes down to the second floor.
Oh,
It has that dual staircase, so one goes up on the left-hand side, one goes up on the right-hand side. This would be the left-hand side. Well, at least the way I look at it is the left-hand side. Sorry, guys, I had to get some water there. But, yeah, it's a great game, guys. It really is. But it is hard, so I understand why some people stay away from it. And it does take a long time to level, but, the one thing I found about MMOs that most people will eventually tell you themselves after they played a few of them is you level pretty quickly in pretty much every MMO out there. And it's kind of almost like a rush to get to level 1 to whatever the max is. And once you get to the max, that's when the game really starts. That's not really how this one is. Like, the game starts at level 1. You get to enjoy level 1 for a long time. You get to enjoy level 2 for a long time. It's only, I can't even say it's when you get to a high level that the game really opens up for you, because it doesn't. There's so many different places to go. And if you guys don't believe that, you merely need to go back and watch, some of our earlier episodes with different levels, and you'll see that there's not just one zone to go to at level 1. Not two, not three, not four, but dozens of different places to go at level 1 to level 10. Dozens of places to go from level 10 to level 20. So you're never really going to get bored, and each one of those zones has a fill all of its own.
Also, what Valery's bringing up, there's loads of more options to go, you know?
Yeah, although your options for Velius really don't start until about level 30, but then there's tons of zones at level 30 to 40 and then 40 to 50 and so on and so forth that you can go to. So,
Yeah.
yeah, just it's really cool zones
Two,
over there. I love it. Ice all over the place.
three yellows. Three yellows. One in that.
Yeah, but we can pull these single, like the lesser
Yeah.
ones. We should be able to get by themselves. What's the experience like? I'm almost leveled already. That's actually pretty good experience.
Yeah, there's a zone experience modifier in this zone, and what that means, guys, is some zones, not all the zones, but certain zones will have an experience modifier to help you, you know, when you kill. Like Soul A has a huge experience modifier, and just every time you kill something, your XP goes up, and it just keeps going up, and it's just crazy that they did this back in the day for certain zones.
Well, they did that because they wanted to promote people to group in a certain place so that people would always be able to find groups. You know, they realized that just freaks me out anytime you do that because I just think you're dead.
that's that's the whole point of it, man.
But yeah, it's the game is very big, like we were saying just a minute ago. And they realized that when the game first came out, it may not be completely maxed out. They weren't expecting it to blow up as much as it did, I don't think. And because of that, they went ahead and gave bonus modifier to experience for some zones so that if only 10 people logged on that day, most of them would want to congregate in those zones where they got the most experience because leveling did take so long. And
Yeah,
if they did that, then those 10 people wouldn't feel like they were on a server all by themselves because there'd be 10 people in a zone and they'd feel like, oh, at least there's other people playing with me. Maybe I can find a group because we're all here in the same place. And it really worked very, very, very well. It actually did congregate more people in those places than others. And what you saw is dungeons had a enormous population, whereas outside zones that didn't have that double experience or that triple or quadruple or whatever the amount was for that specific zone, you would find less people in those. And those had to fill all of its own because there was less people in them. It was a perfect place for soloers to go and have plenty of room to do whatever they wanted to do there and not feel cramped like you were inside of a dungeon.
for
So,
sure.
so it gave two sides. It gave the people who liked to group, you know, definitely the population to group, and then it gave the people who didn't like to group, you know, zones all their own that were very sparse because everybody else was hiding in those other big zones. So it worked out just perfect. And I don't think you could really do much better than that. I've never seen anybody do better than that. So maybe there is somebody that has a better idea, but it's never really been incorporated into an MMO in the way this one has that worked. But I like dungeons. I love groups, which is why I tend to like dungeons. And I've seen people who like to solo still solo inside dungeons, and I've seen people who like to group still group in outside zones. So it still lends itself well to whatever your playstyle is. It just you're gonna get more experience inside of a dungeon.
For sure.
Now,
And plus, you're gonna get more loot inside of a dungeon as well. You're gonna get really, really good loot. Like depending on the dungeon and the name and stuff, you can get crappy loot from time to time from a name because you know some of that good loot that they have. Like for example, the FBSS. When I was camping that for my monk, I was there for 6 hours, and he would just drop nothing but the ring. And I saw 100 of the frenzy gold, and the last time I was about to give up and leave, he spawned and he fell through the world, and I almost died, but I ended up killing them and everything they brought back. But he ended up having the flowing black success, so sometimes it's hit or miss with some of these dungeons and some of these names, really.
but that's why people feel like they've earned it. Because you got the FBSS, do you feel like that was just, I got it, but I'll get rid of it later on and get something better? You feel like that's a part of you because you sat there and camped. You have a story to go along with it.
For sure, man. And not only that, when I do eventually get something better, I'm gonna eventually hand it down to one of you guys. Eventually, you know, you never really know, you know, because I know you guys pretty well, and you know we're friends, man. And that's just kind of what I do, man. You know, so I mean, I try to help you guys out. I try to help everybody out on the server as best as I can. You know, I give them knowledge. I get a lot of tells from everybody saying they like the videos and how do I do this and how do I do that. And sometimes I can't reply, and you guys understand that, and so I just want to thank you guys for being so understanding of some of the things that, well, sometimes I can't reply.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, you get busy on stuff all the time, but we definitely want to help out where we can. There's two guys in there. We might be able to take that if you want to pull them. One to the right and one in the corner. I don't know which one you want to pull first. Oh wow, none of them attacked you. Nice. Oh, there's actually three in there. Holy crap.
They're all green to me. I don't know what to con to you.
Oh, they're probably still... No, I'm actually not getting any experience from these. Yeah, they're green as well. We may have to go back up to the third floor then.
Yeah. Yeah, see, sometimes in different dungeons, there's different level mobs too, so...
But, you know, the reason I mentioned the fact that it means something when you get the loot is I played EverQuest 2. I still play EverQuest 2 to this day. But the loot that I get in there means pretty much nothing to me because you get it so easily. I do a quest, and it gives me a better breastplate. A breastplate that's, 10 times better than what I'm wearing. In this game, I'd be drooling over it. I'd be freaking out that, holy crap, I got a breastplate. Look how good it is. The stats are amazing. Because I knew if I got that breastplate in this game, I'd be stuck with that breastplate for a very, very long time to come. And I'd be happy that I got it. But in EverQuest 2, I get the breastplate from doing a quest that says go off and, basically stand in one location, loot, a pair of apples that are on the ground and bring them back to me. Very easy to do. It takes me 10 seconds to do it. I come back and I get a breastplate 10 times better than what I'm wearing. That's fantastic. It would mean a whole lot to me if I wasn't going to replace that breastplate in, say, 10 seconds.
Oh, there's somebody camping this stuff, so we should probably head down towards the basement then.
Yeah, definitely check that out again.
Yeah, we can't take this guy's camp.
But yeah, I mean, I would replace it in like another 10 minutes from doing another quest. It's going to give me a better breastplate as well as an entire suit of armor as I go through their entire quest line. And I'll do that, once every 2-3 hours. So yeah, it really means absolutely nothing in that game because it comes so easy. This one, nothing comes easy. And so you remember it. And I remember like he was talking about the flowing black silk sash. I camped that area for... I don't know how many weeks, and I never got that sash to drop. Actually, it did drop several times. I just lost the random on it every single time. So it has a place in my heart, but in more of like the pit of my stomach of thinking about it and being like, oh, I do not want to camp that thing again. Kind of memory to it, but it still has that memory to it where I remember that item. I know that item by heart, and I know where it spawns. I know what the spawn timer is on that item, and I know how hard that mob is to kill and how easy he is once you realize, the tricks to killing these people. And yeah, it's just kind of a cool game that it makes that kind of impression on you. Not very many games out there can do that. And this is one of the few ones that, at least for me, has. Are there any other games out there that you can remember that really made an impact on you? Whether it's like a Nintendo game like Zelda or, whether, it's a Sony game or, Sega CD or whatever it may be?
I think I really can't say, man. I mean, this was the first game that I ever remembered, that I could remember something like that happened in this game.
Right. Yeah, for me, it would have to be this game is, one of the big ones, but it's not one of the first ones. For me, my experience with the gaming goes all the way back to arcade games, goes all the way back to computers with text-based on them. And there were some really, really cool ones. My dad actually, had a small business for a while after they got out of the theater business, after they sold their theater. He got into arcades. And so he had like the Pac-Man and the Gallagher and all these arcade games that he would take to different places and put them up in their areas, their arcade system. And some of them he would bring home and put in the house, and we'd sit there and play those games over and over and over again for free. And I absolutely love those games like Asteroid and Defender and, what is that, Silkworm. And, there's some really, really good games out there. I don't think we went this direction, did we?
No, we did not.
Oh, yes, we're good to check out a new place. But I think, guys, this is probably a good place to go ahead and end the episode. If you do enjoy our videos, definitely hit that like button, subscribe. It helps our channels grow, just more than we can say, and we greatly appreciate it, guys. Also, if you're watching on my channel, make sure to head on over to ZKP99, check out his videos. Now, I usually do my low-level stuff or mid-range kind of stuff. ZK actually does some really, really cool videos with his raiding stuff. So if you want to see some raid footage, some raid mobs being taken down, especially some of the really, really high-end stuff, definitely go over there and check out his videos. Really cool stuff to see. And he actually has a video of him getting the Kazakh brain, which, as I said, is only about 3 on the server. So that's kind of a unique video that you won't
It
really find anywhere else.
Yeah, and also I'll name some of the mobs that I've recorded. We've killed Arianar. And I've recorded that. We did Vindy, and there was like 400 people in the zone. That was a server first Vindy. Also, we killed the statue of Rala Sek, which with 29 people, that was the first one that we killed, and it was the first one on the server that was killed. So I mean, there's just a lot of things that I've covered raid wise, and there's a lot of things that I've covered group wise. So I mean, I try to mix it up, and I'm gonna keep it going for as long as I can, and I, I, I hope you guys really enjoy it. From the comments that I definitely get from the viewers and stuff, I think you guys really do enjoy these videos, and I greatly appreciate everything you guys do, all the support, and all the tells I get in game. It greatly motivates me to continue doing these videos, and I definitely want to say thank you to all of you.
And guys, until next time.
Subscribe.